Good evening, everyone. Kat's here. She just had to step away for a minute. I am N2RJ, and welcome to Two Chicks on the Radio. And I hope I don't have the audio problems I had last time, but seems to be pretty good. So as always, this is your weekly dose of awesomeness in ham radio, and we're actually have quite a few things here, and I'll bring Kat back in here. Alrighty, and here we are. All right.
I had to unmute. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I see comments. Evan Brock, you're good. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. MRD and everybody. Okay. All right. So I think we're supposed to have Aname on tonight if she's going to show up. But I guess we'll probably have to wing it if she's not. But there's been a lot in the news today, so I guess I'll start out with that. And I guess Kat's going to do the news.
Yes, I'm going to do the news. Sorry. I don't know what's going on with my connection, but we're good now.
Okay, good. Okay, so it's time for the news.
All right. Give me a second. Let me get that open for us. We're still waiting on Aname, right?
Yeah, you know, she said she would come on, and I hope she does come on. So we'll see how that goes.
All right. All right. So what's going on in the news today is everybody knows about Hurricane Ida. It made landfall. Damaging effects felt from the Gulf Coast all the way to the northeast. And it was a Category 4 hurricane. And it pummeled Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. And then moved on up to the northeast, where it caused a lot of rains, floods, and winds. And I know that it impacted New York City quite a bit because I saw pictures of the subways and everything like that. So...
Yeah, so being in New Jersey, it actually impacted us quite a little bit. But I want to share some stuff with you. First of all, I have this picture on my phone. So everybody knows I'm a huge Tesla nut. You know, I love Tesla cars and such. Those who follow me on my social media know that I posted a picture of a Tesla service center. And I shouldn't really be laughing, but it's really sad. They, all right, get us on my computer, and they suffered basically a roof collapse. So they basically lost. Yeah, it's one of the 2 service centers in northern New Jersey, and they're already limited in terms of how many they can have, because the state. Yeah, the state's kind of funny. The state says, yeah, you know, we only allow a certain number of them. So I'll bring this up here. Take out all these billions of video projects I'm doing. I'm quite a busy individual. And then, let's see here. Let me share screen. And window. There we go. Okay. So, yeah. So this is the Tesla Paramus Service Center, and this is courtesy of New Jersey Tesla Club.
Oh my goodness!
So they basically had a roof collapse, and the glass fell in. And,
oh my goodness!
Yeah, they're basically canceling all people's delivery appointments and service appointments and such like that. And thankfully, nobody was hurt. That's the good part is nobody was hurt. You know. I always go to this one. They really treat me well all the time. And, you know, they're really, I'm sorry to hear that they're going to be out of commission for a while. Here in New Jersey, in my area of New Jersey, I'll show you one from our local newspaper, which actually is not, you know, I'm a little annoyed at them. They're not, you know, they've been bought out by a huge conglomerate. And they're kind of just gone totally. We lost all the local news, so I'll show you this one here. Here we go. So this is from the New Jersey Herald, right? And you'll see Ida brings power outages, flooding to Sussex County, and yeah, it's been kind of interesting because all around me lost power. I'm in one of the few areas in town where all our wiring is underground, so we didn't lose power, but all around lost power. And you'll see here, there's a lot of flooding as well too. Even though we're high up, we're high elevation, there's still like a lot of rivers and streams and lakes and such overflowed. So you see all this flooding. I think something like 23 people died in the storm, and a lot of roads got closed. And here we have our governor and all the various people there. So this, and a car. This is no joke. Now, this is the result of a tornado. We had a now by Midwest. I know Midwest people are going to say, "Oh, this is nothing," but for us, it's big because New Jersey is very densely populated. And then you had this big, I think it was an EF2 tornado coming through town in South Jersey in Gloucester, and it basically, I think it was Mullica Hill. It basically shredded some of these houses. You can see here.
Wow!
So, and it was a video. I think it was an EF2. Yeah. So,
yeah. We tend to have EF2s, EF3s, all the way up to EF5s here.
Yeah. So anyway, Aname is in the chat, but she says we don't want her. We want her on tonight.
Yes,
so
we are.
We're gonna
send too. Her. She said I didn't want her. Really?
I don't know.
She cried.
If you look on, there's one more on my Facebook page. I'll probably link that separate. But there is a whole video with this tornado. It's just scary. It's been let's see.
I was really shocked at the flooding in New York with it all going down the subways and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's not, you know what, it is kind of, so let me put it this way. People think New York is all flat and, it has like a bunch of really no hills or nothing, but a lot of New York actually has varying elevation. But they just got so much rain. Central Park, I think they got like 4 inches of rain within those just few hours. So, it was epic. Let's see here. I think that's the one, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is a tornado here. A guy saying, "Yo, this is crazy." Is that
the tornado that it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Do you see that second one that's almost wanting to come down?
Yeah, it's probably some people are saying, "Oh, that's not a real tornado. That's a water spout." But I don't think it really matters, does it? Yeah. So so that was that. Communications wise.
Actually, that definitely was a tornado. Stop.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
So as far as emergency communications, I reached out to all the ARRL people here. They said really, there's been some local stuff like my my counterpart here in New Jersey, Bill Hudzik, W2UDT, he said he was at his local EOC handling communications, but they really didn't have a lot. So I think a lot of things held up, which is always good, but at the same time, we should always be prepared. All right, so that's Ida. What else is in the news?
What else is in the news is my kid is finally going back to playing his Xbox after asking me so many freaking questions, I swear, and wanting to view everything.
Right.
You're laughing at this.
Well,
because this is what he said. He said, this is first person. I get to see it like as it's live. I don't have to go on my phone and watch it. I'm like, go on your phone and watch it if you really want to watch it. And he's like, that one I can see it firsthand.
Yeah.
Oh God, he was just doing it to be annoying. He does that often.
Yeah.
So
So Joe.
apparently, the ARRL has actually responded about the insulin pump issue. And it was apparently was a 2-year-old complaint from the neighbor, is what I'm understanding. And the laboratory said the story is lacking any details or timeline. So they contacted the amateur radio operator involved and volunteered their assistance. So from what I can understand, that they explained that the medical devices such as the insulin pumps are regulated by the U.S. By the FDA, specifically for electromagnetic compatibility.
Yeah.
And are expected to be capable of operating in all RF environments likely to be encountered by consumers. So this includes, ham radio. Noted there is an FDA recall for a model number of the insulin pump in question in approximately the same time frame. But with so few details, there's no way of knowing if that recall applies to the serial number used or whether the exact unit has a mechanical defect indicated in the recall notice that could cause the malfunction. It also became apparent that there's no actual evidence connecting the amateur's transmissions to the operation of the insulin pump. So they agreed to run the test to establish whether or not there was a cause and effect, but the neighbor declined. So while there are no requirements for a radio amateur to stop transmitting due to alleged interference to non-radio device, the preferred path with any complaint is for neighbors to work together.
Yeah. So I'll tell you this. I've encountered other issues with various people. Some of them dealing with other interference to the radio amateur, like solar. There's there's always little things here and there. Solar. There's somebody has a fish tank pump that interferes with ham radio. Cooperation is always key, and you'll generally find that a lot of people who don't cooperate, they're either they don't want to have the truth come out, or they are afraid that they might incur some like it might cost some money or something. But it's always good to work, because I think everybody looks forward to a solution. So I actually released a video this evening concerning this very issue, so you can look for it on my channel, Cascadia Radio, and I talk about this and I explain this article. I know Ed here. Ed's a very respected lab engineer at ARRL. He's the lab manager at ARRL, and he's generally a no-nonsense guy. So he went and he looked at this, and he basically found out that, while there's not a lot of evidence to support the assertion that ham radio is interfering with the insulin pump, and that there was a recall. Now, there have also been some cybersecurity concerns about some of these pumps that are internet connected too, so gotta watch out for that. But, and the other thing is, I know tons of hams who have insulin pumps, and they're, they don't have any problems. They have like their Baofeng on their belt, and the insulin pump next to it, and nothing happened.
Right.
So, all right. And what else do we got?
So we've got a couple other things about from the ARRL, where Catherine Forson, she received the Hiram Percy Maxim Award.
Right.
So basically, she got that award. Let's see here. I didn't really read this, but it's because she's active in her school community and everything, and she was a senior, and she carries a 4.46 grade point average, which is a really, really good grade point average. That's really above a 4.0. And she won second place at the engineering fair and all that. So she's actually an active part of the amateur radio club and the races, and she's also trained with the National Weather Service for Skywarn's storm spotter. So she got her technician at the age of 9, and her general after that, and then her amateur extra.
So I actually had the pleasure of meeting up with this young lady in Texas. Little known fact, I'm from New Jersey, but I'm probably the most well-liked ham from New Jersey in the state of Texas. No joke. I have a lot of friends down there, basically saying that they are kind of. I might have a picture of her somewhere, but she's exceptional, I think. And when we had the board meeting to recommend her for the award, everybody wholeheartedly gave her, a huge thumbs up, and she was really really deserving of that award. She just does so much for youth engagement down there, and her section manager, Steve Lott Smith, KG5VK, he spoke so highly of her. So I was very glad to hear that she, to first of all recommend her, be one of the recommenders for this award, and two, also to see that she gets it. So I think that's great. So Sterling actually jumped the gun on one of our stories. I think that's
yes,
the
he
next
did.
one.
I saw that.
All right. So what's next?
Our next story is where the ARRL has established a program for the youth that covers the $35 application fee for each qualified candidate who passes one or more amateur radio exams taken on the same day at a single examination session. So basically, they're going to cover that fee one time if when they sit down and they pass to get their license.
Yeah.
But
so initially,
the fee is not going to be implemented till 2022 sometimes.
Yeah. So this fee, I mean, I'm really, obviously I'm not in favor of the fee, but at the same time, I think that we should be doing something about the fee, at least for those who. Now, some people have been saying that how the fee is kind of like, the ARRL should be subsidizing it for everybody. But first of all, the ARRL wouldn't be able to pay $35 for every ham. But those who are youth, the situation is that there's a lot of competition for hobbies, and not every one of them requires a license. And the fact is that if somebody's choosing between one merit badge, which doesn't require a license as a scout, and the other merit badge, which requires a $35 fee, guess which one the parent's going to say? Well, the parent's going to say, I ain't spending no $35. So it's a way to get them in while they're young. And I think that it's really, it was a good gesture. It was initially started out basically because the director of the Southeastern Division of the ARRL, Mickey Baker, he was approached by a number of scouting groups that said, how, when this $35 fee comes on, their whole thing's going to fall apart. So I think that kind of prodded them onto that. So, and Sterling, get hype when it's Youth and Ham Radio. Sterling, we're going to have you on sometime. We're going to have you on a show sometime, okay? All right. And somebody said Dixie's going for an extra. Dixie needs to get her general first.
Yeah, I got to go to general first. I don't know who was talking about that. She better get them this month or bring me brownies. So here's the thing. If I don't get my general by the end of the month, I've got to travel all the way to West Virginia and bring them brownies.
Okay. Well, you know what?
That's what he said.
Yeah. Well, you do what you got to do. I think you do what you got to do. Hey, I'm not forcing anybody.
I know you're not forcing anybody.
All right. So, is there another story? I think there's a number of stories today.
Yeah, there's another one about understanding the changes to the FCC RF exposure rules. Basically, the ARRL has made a PDF available of an article by Ed Hare, W1 RFI, on the new FCC rules regarding RF energy exposure. So, and that went into effect May the 3rd. And then there's also a calendar and calculator for this as well.
Yeah. So there is a video on this that I made, and it's one of the more popular videos on my channel. and if you can check it out, it'll give you a lot of background information of the whole FCC RF safety rules. I've been getting a lot of requests for this. I redirect them to lab because the lab is really the authority. I just basically put it up in a in a convenient format. But that video is there, and I'll drop it in the chat here. And if you haven't watched that video, it's a good comprehensive look. It has sample calculations and everything. A lot of some videos they just put a screenshot and they run calculator and they talk over it. I give practical examples and background and such too, so it's worth a look. All right, and okay, and what's next?
That was actually it for the news.
There is one more that I got from Southgate. I don't know if that one, which was the contesters.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, the study that shows contesters are aging.
Right.
Yeah.
So Frank Howell, K4FMH, he is, I think he's a professional demographer. He's like a social scientist who studies these kind of things. I think he is. At least he told me that or something. Don't shoot me. He did a study in an article about this, about the ARRL sweepstakes contest, and he found, because the interesting thing about the sweepstakes contest is that it's one of the few contests where you can kind of guess somebody's age, but because people send the year they're licensed, and but he also got date of birth for the study, and he found that a lot of contesters are over 65. So, I mean, they're people over 65 are great people, but at the same time, reality is that we're all not getting any younger, and if the hobby continues to age out, then we're going to be left with no hobby. So we go back to the youth question about what do we do to bring in youth. So I think we definitely need to bring in youth, and youth doesn't have to mean kids, right? Youth could mean 20s and 30s and such like that too. Although 30s is not really youth, but you want to bring in people who could, up and coming. So, all right, and thanks for the news.
Well, thank you. And I think I made an oopsie.
How?
I put myself in timeout.
Oops.
Because this thing won't let me pin, and I was trying to pin it, and instead I put myself in timeout.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get it out. Currently working.
All right. Yeah. So, there are people who are not fan of contests, and I get that. At the same time, you could be against contests and respect people's right to contest. So I respect the right of people to rag chew and have nets. Even though I'm not a net person. I used to like nets. I don't really like nets anymore. Because you know what? The nets to me are like, it's mostly the net controller speaking. And then you check in, you get to say 5 words, and then the net controller says, all right, now we take the next check-in. It's like a never-ending circle. All right, so are you gonna drag Aname in here, or is she gonna come kicking and screaming, or what?
I don't know. Let me go see if I can get her in.
Yeah. In the meantime, seriously, guys, we're fine over here in terms of our own personal, safety up here. I don't know what Kat felt in Alabama with the storm. I imagine she got a little bit of rain too.
I got a little bit of rain. I wasn't as concerned when Katrina came through. I know that it wasn't as big, but it was definitely a big storm. Yeah. And it hit us here a little bit more. But Ida kind of came through and bypassed. Most of these schools let their kids out and either went virtual for the day or they actually went fully closed for the day. However, our local school did not do that. They chose to stay open. So different school systems did different things. So it was definitely one of those things, and it definitely bypassed like it was supposed to when it was supposed to.
Yeah. So here I was, I was shocked at what we got, to be honest. I thought that this thing would have dissipated all over the states that are inland, and
Right.
on
I
its
think
way
what
up here.
happened, though, it gained strength.
Yeah, that's weird. Where'd it get all the moisture from?
Well, we had that system that moved in before the hold on.
Aname says she didn't get a link. She tried to get a link from you, but she couldn't get it.
I got it. I sent it to her.
Okay.
I got squirreled. I got busy. Yeah. I sent it to her via Discord.
Okay.
I was waiting for her to message me back and tell me she was ready to get on because I was trying to get her to get on for a little bit earlier, and she never responded. So, I think it's that moisture that we had before this came through is where it gained it from.
Okay.
That's my thought process. I can ask my meteorologist friend, and he can probably tell me. That's my guess. Guesstimation on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird up here. I'm thinking it probably sucked in some of the stuff from the coast, probably. And
probably
then,
did that.
Yeah, because there's like a lot of warm water off the coast, and it just basically slushed that inland. And even though they didn't have like a lot of high winds, we had these tornadoes, and these tornadoes, like you saw in that video, they're extremely vicious. And you have like densely populated New Jersey. It's not like Nebraska, which is like, thousands of acres of cornfields and dairy farms and such. And then Joe Eisenberg out there somewhere in Lincoln. So it's kind of like here you have a bunch of houses clustered together, and then you have people down the shore and such. It's crazy, Yeah. So, yeah, so I don't know.
I have no idea. That was just my guess, and you're probably right. It did pull some out from it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm messaging her on Twitter too.
Okay.
Cause
what is N0SSC has a announcement? He's full-time ARRL.
Ooh.
Who is that?
I have no idea.
Was that let's see. Coffee in the World.
Oh, Caffeinated Radio last night.
Oh, Good Game. Oh, well, I knew Good Game was consulting for ARRL. I don't know what happened. Did he quit the teaching and go full-time ARRL or what?
I don't know. Oh, Good Game. I guess he did.
Oh, okay. Well, good for him.
Yay! Congratulations.
I think he'll do well. Yeah, I know he did the Teachers Institute, and he, because I actually met him up there when he did the whole Shack tour for of W1AW, and so it's funny when I went up there, Teachers Institute was just winding down. Then you had Steve was up there for that, and then I was outside with my drone just taking video of all the towers and such, and then I saw him pull up, and he was like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he began to just he was he seemed to be pretty happy with what he was doing. So I am really not surprised that he actually went full-time at ARRL, which is great. Which is absolutely great. So yay. All right. And
I don't know. I sent it to her. I don't know what happened. I sent it to her in Discord, and I sent it to her in I sent it to her on Twitter too.
So Joe is saying how there are 8 full-time ARRL jobs open.
Yeah.
I can't really comment on the full reason behind that. I mean, other than some of the staff, they retired and they're looking to replace them. So there's there is that, and then plus they're doing new things at the league, so they're actually looking to hire people for those. So that's basically the whole reason you see so many staff positions. It's kind of like some people decided, well, the league is no longer for them and they want to do something else, or they want to finally retire. I know a couple of them retired and they moved I guess where they used to live before. Some of them were colleagues I used to have at the meetings, and it was nice working with them. So I wish them well. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, if ARRL paid a lead RF engineer salary, I'd take a job during their youth advocacy, but I don't think they'd bite. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, salaries are kind of a sticking point there.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, they're talking about the IT director position is kind of, a lot of people, there are people who were asking about that position too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So,
NZRSSC. He's been trying for 12 years.
To what? Get on ARRL?
Yeah. Well, he's almost 30, so is he still going to be doing youth advocacy? I have to tease him about that. When I was that age, I was kind of like, yeah, I'll do some youth advocacy. I actually did when I was in high school. I actually did. I was in the ham radio club, and we actually did some stuff. But it's kind of like you have to find that kind of special student who wants to be a ham. So, all right.
I'm gonna tell her to check Discord and Twitter. Maybe I'm not in timeout anymore.
Yeah, maybe she's not going to come on.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
There, I sent it. Yeah, I totally. Hey, I'm out of timeout now. I can post now.
So why did you get yourself put on timeout?
I don't know how I did that. Don't ask me, because I was thinking I was hitting pin, but on this one it says put user in timeout or block user. It doesn't give me the option over here in StreamYard to pin it.
Right.
So I now have the chat like popped out of YouTube where I can actually do what I need to do.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me. I don't know. I had a blonde moment.
Yeah.
I think we all have blonde moments at times, though.
Probably.
So I've been studying for my general.
And how's that going?
Sleeping.
Okay.
Falling asleep, but it almost hit me in the face again.
Yeah. What is the what is the roadblock? What are you having the most trouble with?
I'm not for sure. Slow up, I can tell you. Let me go right here. I have my stuff saved. I just gotta log into it.
Yeah. Ham Radio Adventure Guy says he smells brownies.
Telling me don't smell any brownies. My kid ate them all. Yeah, like no joke. I went to go get me some. And it was nada. So, according to my aptitude, I am struggling with the most with the area of G7.
Okay. So, let's see. General G7, right?
Yep. Hold on. I'll tell you in a second. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it. Hold up.
Wave. So, there's one wave takers. Okay.
So, it's got to be something with the, I'm thinking the,
it's electronic stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
That's my lowest one. That's
all
at
right,
then. That's at like 25%.
Yeah.
No joke.
All right. All right. All right. Well, let's see if we could run through some questions here, and let me see. I wish I had this loaded up in the I think, where did I get the question pool stuff for last time?
I got mine from Ham Study.
Yeah, I haven't signed up for. I mean, obviously, I don't. I haven't taken a test since 2001. So.
Oh my goodness! Ron said taking the test is my roadblock.
I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And this, oh my god. This is crazy.
Yeah. So 2019 to 2023 final release with errata. Okay. And I'm going to bring this up here. And we're going to show. Oh, yeah, we're going to show it. We're going to go through a few questions, because I think you should learn something here. G6.
I was wondering if I could find my dad's old general book, but I can't find it. I don't know what he did, but I think he might have given it back to his friend Doc.
So sub element G7 is practical circuits. 3 exam questions, 3 groups, and 40 questions, right? And G7A is power supplies, schematic symbols. G7B is digital circuits, amplifiers and oscillators. G7C, receivers and transmitters, filters, oscillators. Okay, that's fun stuff. It's not the Smith charts and stuff on the extra. So I don't know. I think this one, you cover this in like a E101 class. It's really, if you don't know electronics at all, it'll be hard.
I don't know electronics at all.
Really?
I just sat there and watched my dad put stuff together. That's all.
Really? What kind of stuff did he put together?
Model trains.
Okay.
Stereo equipment. Soldering stuff for like for cars and stuff too. So yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's let me do it this way.
I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
Oh, and computer stuff. He did it for computer stuff too.
Okay. Was he like a computer tech or something like that?
Oh, he built computers. Like I got 2 computers that he built for the kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. All right. So let me share the screen, and I think I'll do it a little different this time. I need to be a little more organized about this, really.
That's all right.
I wonder if people in YouTube land can see this. Yeah, they can see that. That's big enough.
They can see that.
Yeah. All right. What useful feature does a power supply bleeder resistor provide? A, it acts as a fuse for excess voltage. B, it ensures that the filter capacitors are discharged when the power is removed. C, it removes shock hazards from induction coils. D, it eliminates ground loop current.
I'm going to go with A.
I'm
probably wrong.
No. So when you... Okay. That's hard. That brings up graphic stuff. When you bleed something, right?
Yeah, it's like when you're bleeding brakes, you're getting all the excess air out of the brake system.
Yeah, but it's not a fuse for X. So A is kind of the distractor. Okay, it's a close answer to say. So the answer actually is B. It ensures that filter capacitors are discharged when the power is removed.
Okay.
And the reason you want this is that some of these, especially for amplifiers, you'll find that the voltage in these filter capacitors are very high. And if you go to service one of these things, you just power it off and they don't have a bleeder resistor, you could get a nasty little shock. Or if you drop a screwdriver across it, you get a nasty little spark. Okay? And it'll scare you. It might even pop, some components. So that's kind of a safety measure. But I don't really trust them. I tend to short out things manually before I touch capacitors anyway, just because, I don't trust the bleeder resistors. All right, so you learned something. Let's go with G7A02, and we're going to do it like this. Which of the following components are used in a power supply filter network? A, diodes. B, transformers and excuse me, transducers. C, quartz crystals. D, capacitors and inductors.
I'm going to go with, all right, so what are you doing?
Sorry, I like multi-tools. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just like, really, what are you doing? Are you trying to give me the answer over here, Rhea? By doing your tools and getting your tools out? Is that going to tell me something? No, I'm joking.
No, I'm not. I just like tools. All right.
You like to throw your tools that are all in one and handy. I got it.
No, I just keep one on me because you never know if you need to use one. And this one's actually specialty for, like, if you're dealing with computer networks and stuff. If I have to walk a network floor and punch something down, although I don't do that work much these days. These days I'm doing software and cloud and artificial intelligence and all that cool stuff, and writing software that does cool things. But you have all sorts of little. This is a wire stripper.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
I'm gonna go with B.
So not really.
Not really. I got this one wrong too.
Yeah, the power supply has several components, right? First of all, so let's talk about a linear power supply, right? You have the first part is a transformer. You know what a transformer looks like, right?
Yeah.
Then once you step down the voltage from 120 or 220 volts, if you're outside of United States, you step it down to like 12 or 15 volts or so. You want to rectify it, so you change it from AC, which is the wall alternating current, into direct current. So you have the rectifier, and for those you'd use diodes. Okay, so diodes are the rectifier. So transformers step down the voltage. Diodes will then smooth out the voltage, change AC to DC. Quartz crystals are irrelevant. The only ones that will use quartz crystals are fancy switching power supplies, and not even all of them. But D, capacitors and inductors. Right. So the capacitors actually smooth out they store charge and they smooth out the power supply, the rectified voltage, and the inductors basically will block AC current from coming in too. So they're part of the filter network. All right. Let's see. Yeah, you could do that too, Liberty Cave. If you could do that, but this is more fun, I think. Or is it?
It's fun. I like it because I'm like all about
the learning
visual.
Okay. All right. So the answer is D for this one. Okay.
Okay.
And so this one is kind of tricky too. I never realized the general exam became so hard now. What type of rectifier circuit uses two diodes and a center tap transformer? A. Full wave. B. Full wave bridge. C. Half wave. D. Synchronous.
Okay. What type of rectifier circuit uses two diodes and a center tap transformer?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with B.
Ooh, that's so close. Okay. The answer is actually A bridge rectifier. And I'll show you I'll show you the types of rectifiers here.
Okay.
Yeah. The bridge actually has 4 diodes, right? And the full wave has, so I'll show you what a bridge looks like. A bridge is StreamYard. Hello, StreamYard. Okay. I'll share. Stop screen. I'll share a Chrome tab. And full bridge. I think that's it. Yeah. So that is a bridge rectifier.
Okay.
Okay. Has the 4 diodes like that. Then you have, if you look for a full wave rectifier, it will basically, you'll see the, there's one with the center tap and the 2, here we go. Well, this is sort of it. You know, you have the 2 diodes, right? And then you have the center tap. So that's
the full wave.
That's a full wave, yeah. All right, so let's go back to, we'll do a couple more questions.
Okay.
Let's see here. Share, stop screen. Angry guy got some friends. You know, Jason, let me tell you something. I uploaded a video today, okay? Within 10 seconds of the video being uploaded. Thumbs down. Okay. I'm like, what? That's crazy. You know? All right. And let's see here. Da, da, da. All right. So, you know about full wave. Let's talk about the half wave supply. Okay?
Yeah, Ron said show me the half wave. All right.
Right. So, what is the advantage of the... Whoops. I think I forgot the question.
No, you forgot the question. It's okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
What is an advantage of a half-wave rectifier in a power supply? A, only 1 diode is required. B, the ripple frequency is twice that of a full-wave rectifier. C, more current can be drawn from the half-wave rectifier. D, the output voltage is 2 times the peak output voltage of the transformer.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Only 1 diode is required?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
And you are correct. Okay. All right. So the half-wave rectifier basically is just a diode in, 1 diode, and it just uses the other part of the transformer. Okay. So next one. What portion of the AC cycle is converted to DC by a half-wave rectifier? A, 90 degrees. B, 180 degrees. C, 270 degrees. And D, 360 degrees. I'll tell you right off the bat, D is out.
I figured D was out.
Yeah. So you're left with a half-wave rectifier. So full wave does 360 degrees. right, of the AC cycle. So the half wave does
180.
Okay, and that's correct.
Okay.
All right, and I think I just gave away the next question.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What portion of the AC cycle is converted to DC by a full wave rectifier?
They're 360.
Okay, good. All right. I think I'll do one more.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some.
Angry thumbs down dude is really angry. We got 8.
Wow. Okay.
He must have had friends called him up and said, "Hey."
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I got 2 thumbs for him.
Yeah. 19 up. I'll give you a 20. 21. And was it Joseph Collins's? Okay, buddy stick. Right. Okay. So the next one is, what is the output waveform of an unfiltered full wave rectifier connected to a resistive load? So a resistive load would be something like, that's basically not like a motor or an induction coil. So it's something, I guess a simple resistive load would be like a heating element. So the answer is A series of DC pulses at twice the frequency of the AC input. B, a series of DC pulses at the same frequency as the AC input. C, a sine wave at half the frequency of the AC input, which kind of doesn't make sense because if it's a sine wave, it's AC and not DC. And D, a steady DC voltage.
I'm going to go with A.
And that would be correct. It is a series of DC pulses. Okay.
Well, because it's unfiltered. And if it's unfiltered, then it's going to go crazy.
Well, it's just going to have, if it's a full wave rectifier, you rectify half each time. And, you rectify the full wave, but you'll see like little pulses like that. All right. Whoops. Well, you know the answer to that one. Which of the following is an advantage of a switch mode power supply as compared to a linear power supply? A, faster switching time makes high output voltage possible. B, fewer circuit components are required. C, high frequency operation allows the use of smaller components. D, all of these choices are correct. I can tell you right away that switching power supplies are more complicated than linear ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would go with A.
Okay.
Is it A?
And
either A or D. Huh?
That's incorrect.
Okay, so what is it?
It is C, high frequency operation allows the use of smaller components. So a practical example would be, if I could find one here. I know I had one on, why is it I can't find a power brick when I need one?
I don't know. I've got one.
Okay, I think this is a good example here.
Okay.
This here is basically a switching power supply, right?
Okay.
So years ago, this thing is rated at, this is for Kenwood, this is for one of these Kenwood battery chargers. This is 12 volt, 1 amp, okay?
Okay.
So I want to make sure the people can see this. And a 12 volt, 1 amp, right? This is a genuine Kenwood accessory here, right?
There we go.
12 volt, 1 amp output.
Okay.
This here is the size of this thing.
Okay.
Compared to the little knife, and it has a little ruler on the knife too. It's a few inches. And this thing is like lightweight.
Okay.
Years ago, if you were to have a 12 volt, 1 amp power supply you would actually, that would be bigger, a lot bigger, like this big, right? And this tall, and it would be much heavier because you have that big transformer inside, and it uses lower frequency,
Kind
lower
of like
frequency.
this.
No,
This
that's
is
still switching. Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah. It would be something like, you ever see like those big Astron supplies?
Yes, actually,
Right.
I did a review video on one, and it's on my camera still.
Yeah, but Astron makes like the small switching supplies, right? The little ones that are the size of a paperback book. But they also make the big, you know, they make the big, humongous ones, which you get a hernia if you lift up, you know. So those are linear power supplies, and those are pretty heavy. So, all right, okay, and that's the end of you know, general
General questions
prep.
on G7.
Yeah.
Well, I
So what I'll tell.
you.
Oops, sorry.
What happened?
Put you
There
back
we
in.
go.
Yeah, I almost banned you again. Okay.
You almost did what? You almost banned me again? Oh my goodness.
No, I didn't ban you. You banned yourself.
I know that. only a smart one would ban themselves.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So, what did he have? Thumbs down guy is angry because Wild Cascadian isn't here. And, okay. So anyway, what else is going on? You said you had some review videos coming up, and what are you reviewing?
I'm doing one for ham radio prep. So I'll be doing that one. I did it the other day, but I kind of screwed up, so I've got to reshoot it.
Nice. Well, I did one on this one.
I'm using the new feature on StreamYard to do it with.
Nice.
Where you can record it.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. Did you do and you said you had another one with a power supply that's on your camera?
Yeah, it's on my camera. What I'll do is I'll upload it and let you look at it, because this is like many moons ago.
Okay. Interesting. So I did this little Reticus radio, and I was kind of like, you know, a lot of people pointed out features like I didn't realize like this little thing here in the back here is actually a stand for the radio.
Oh.
It's kind of hokey. You know, you put this thing in a radio, and just like the bass, you know, you have like this mega bass. I don't know if people notice.
Is that one of them old antennas?
The what?
The antenna, yeah.
Yeah, the antenna is very short. What gets me the most about this radio is the bass. I mean, this thing is literally pumping. But when I did the video, I actually chose like a bass. I was looking for, you know, an Epidemic Sound, one of the most bass-intensive songs they have. I came upon one of this. I just turned it up and put it in the background. I don't know if anybody noticed that I did that. But that was something else. All right, yeah. So
let me just say the brownies were really, really good. So good, they didn't even last 24 hours.
Oh, man. Are they from a box or scratch made?
Scratch. You want the recipe?
That's my next question.
You would have to double up on the recipe for you and your kids.
Okay. Oh.
If you want to even have a single sliver of them
Left. Yeah. I normally make from a box anyway, but I'm willing to try scratch again.
These are from scratch.
Okay. Yeah, send it to me. Maybe I'll do a video on them too.
On the brownies, saying, "Hey, I'm reviewing DixieDX's brownies over here. Let's see if they're really good compared to what she's saying."
I will figure out some way to put ham radio in them. You know.
You'll figure that out. You
Yeah,
want my chicken and dumpling recipe too, Rhea?
one thing at a time, okay?
One thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yeah. Oh man, Evan Barak says I need a refund. Where's Aname? I think she's a
ask
little shy.
Aname.
Yeah.
Well, the brownies and Tina.
Whatever happened to that whole series they had on like these YouTubers? I used to watch that. That was so wild. Will It Antenna. I'm like, what?
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah. So I was planning to do a build on this,
What is
3D
that?
printed. This is for an end-fed half wave.
Okay.
So here on this thing, here you put the toroid and the coil transformer, and here you mount a an SO239 connector, coax connector, and then you wind the wire on these things. See, and I 3D printed this, and then
That's cool.
I made one in green too.
Okay, so what's your favorite color, Rhea? Since you made one in green and yellow.
My favorite color is cranberry something on the other.
Oh, so you're a red pinkish person.
Kind of. This is right next to me here. Yeah.
You know how to properly open those things, right?
If what?
You know how to properly open those things, right?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
not like that.
Okay.
It's the top. You see that little top part right there?
The button.
Yeah, you got to pop it out and it untwist on its own, and that's how you get it out. I kid you not. Yep, that's the proper way of doing it. Trust me.
Okay. I got my tool. I'm like,
I'm teaching you something.
this thing has saved my butt so many times. Okay?
Okay.
And I do this. Okay.
When you pop it out, it should pop out, and it should go into it. That is how
Are you
it's supposed to go.
serious?
I am serious as a heart attack. We have been operating it the wrong way all these years.
Okay. Wow. I am. Alrighty then.
Think of it this way, bugs won't get in it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Do I have any bugs in there?
I don't know.
No bugs in there. It smells too nice for them. Yeah.
Have y'all had a problem with flies up there?
Only in the summer.
Okay, so we've had nothing but like problem with flies down here. I had to go for fly trap bags. You know those bags that you fill up with water and stick outside?
Mm-hmm.
I had to get that.
Wow. So I had the best fly thing was like a transparent piece of sheet. A little thing about yay big. You stick that on the window and the flies fly there and they fall down and they just drop. So
really?
Yeah. And the thing is you could hardly see it. You could hardly see it, okay? But, it's there. It's a silent fly killer. And that thing, I have one on one of my windows that's been there for like 3 years. And the flies, I have to vacuum up flies like nearly every other day.
Really? I need to look into that.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're going to end it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry the guest thing didn't work out.
It's okay.
We're always looking for good guests. You know what? I recruit Sterling if Sterling wants to come on.
Okay.
What do you say there, Coffee? Sterling.
Yeah, we say they're coffee.
Sterling Man.
Sterling.
N0SSC. We'll have him talk about youth in amateur radio. And we have to get him before he turns 30, so he could talk about youth from an authoritative standpoint. I'm just messing with him. But if he wants to come on, I'll ask him. Yeah, these things are actually these are not my design, unfortunately. I have different designs I'm working on, but this is actually something I downloaded from Thingiverse, and you know, I printed this on. This is not the usual 3D printing material. This is called PETG. PETG, polyethylene phthalate with glycol. So PET, essentially it's soda bottle plastic, right? So the thing about this is, because it's soda bottle plastic, it could flex a little bit. It could, you know, it's a little more temperature resistant, and it's not going to break. It's not as brittle as the other plastic used for printing, which is PLA, right? And yeah. So Joe will tell you, Joe has become an expert in 3D printing after I introduced it to him. And, you know, he's having a real good time with it. Maybe we'll have him back sometime. Excuse me. Yeah, it's a lot better outdoors. I use this in a lot of outdoor stuff, printing, you know. And maybe I'll show off some of my favorite prints. But, yeah, this is nice. And let's see, we'll do it on her channel. You know what? Yeah, she'll invite us and we'll just not show up.
Yes, I will not show up. And if I show up, I'll be in I'll wear a birthday suit.
All right, well, listen, everybody, stay safe, and be sure to like and subscribe both channels, because that's the only way you're going to get every show. And look out next week. I'm trying to get somebody for next week. Maybe I'll have Sterling on for next week if he agrees. And or we'll have somebody else. You know, I've been looking for other people too.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I actually have somebody that I have to work out the details with. And there is somebody I interviewed this week, Dan Marler, K7REX. If you want to watch the full interview on my channel. I talked to him. He's a founder and you know, chief cook and bottle washer of the Rat Pack, Radio Amateurs Training Programs and Activities Committee. Basically, he's an ARRL section manager who started a group of section managers having regular meetings, and he has basically, you know, expanded that into all sorts of training and such. If you check out their YouTube channel, they have a lot of interesting things on there. So the interesting thing is that RF safety video I did, you know, was actually based on a presentation at Rat Pack. So I was in the Rat Pack Zoom call, and I was listening on, and then there was a speaker from the league talking about RF safety, and I said, oh, I got to make a video with that. So, and then that's how that became a video. And that video actually, one of the higher viewed videos on the channel. The other one is a CB and amateur radio video, which is going viral for some unexplainable reason. So anyway, all right. Okay, Kat, I'll let you tie the ribbons on it.
All right. Well, thanks for watching Two Chicks and a Radio. We will see you next week at 8:30 p.m. on Ria's channel, Central Time, 9:30 Eastern. So we'll see you then.
9:30 Eastern, which is 1:30 Zulu, GMT, UTC.
Yes.
All right, everybody.
Don't forget to like and subscribe both channels. Bye-bye.